Welcome, everybody, to Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Meringolo. Thank God it's Tuesday. He's Tim Strachan.
Thank God I'm here again. I'm looking forward to the night. I know you look a little lighter here.
Yeah,
I know. What's going on?
it's our soundtrack.
We got an ad?
Yeah.
We got. Is
I
it
don't know
good?
who's sponsoring us today.
Oh, got hymns. I got hymns again.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
you
that
did.
says more about me than, or is it you too?
No, you got hymns. T.
It is great to be here.
Ken Harris, EO, AGH, Rhett.
Sorry for the delay. We were working on the last minute graphic snafu that we had to take care of, and
yes, we have a special guest coming to you live on the First Amendment
we're ready
Sports
to go
Hotline.
now.
We're gonna put him. I always like calling the person during the show because, let's be honest, that's what everyone wants. Let's go. I think last time we had a hard time doing this.
We're doing it right now.
Yeah, I'm calling him right now.
Oh, okay. We're calling him right now. We're just hit.
Just go.
Ken hasn't had human interaction in like
Don't say it
48
like that.
hours, and I'm a little worried about him right now. I don't know.
Yeah, we need to. I don't know what we did last time to make it work. Ooh, IOP in the house. Ken Harris.
What does that
I
mean?
love it.
What's IOP?
What do you mean? What's IOP?
What is IOP?
Um,
I know what OPP is. I don't know what IOP is.
Isle of Palms, South Carolina.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, Ken.
Yeah, so we definitely have the same issue as last time where
I don't remember this. I remember it being flawless the last time. I don't know why we're starting the show off so slow
with issues
that.
already.
I mean, we haven't even barely said hi to our audience.
Oh, I know why.
Hi, audience. How you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing. And gals, ladies,
Kevin.
and Kevin.
Oh, there he is. Kevin, are you there?
Can't hear him.
Kevin. All right, we're going to figure it out. Kevin Rick
Take
is
it off
online. We have to figure it out because we have a graphic that we want to
take it
use.
off speaker.
No, no one will be able to hear him.
Really?
Or he won't be able to hear anything. No, we'll figure it out. It'll take. It's just going to take.
I thought you worked this out.
You know what it was?
This is the way you're going to start our show?
It was because we did the song, and this by having the song on, it like ruined the phone. But I was able to fix it by just turning the song off. So we do that.
It's the only time it's acceptable to turn off dislocated boner.
That's right. All right, it's ringing.
I don't hear anything.
I know, me neither. We'll figure it out. Last week, what we did was, to make sure we got the Bluetooth connected.
Weren't you supposed to do this
Bluetooth connected.
pregame?
I don't know.
was
Oh,
also
we were
supposed
waiting
to-
for AGH. Nothing goes well until AGH gets here. We're gonna fix this.
Nasta.
Nasta in the house.
Good evening. Good morning. Do you say good morning? I don't know. Would it be good morning?
It's technically
good
past midnight there.
Technically, it's your morning. So good morning, AGH. I was just talking about you to James Matton,
Oh,
one of
yes.
our Gonzaga friends, a few friends of Gonzaga that we have, and yes, I was explaining to him how every week we have our friend from Wales who wakes up at 2 a.m. to help be a part of the show. It's amazing.
See, like we can
You're
see the
amazing
music.
right now. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get.
Do you miss Kevin this much?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say. No, I can't say that. I think the key is
Kevin's on location at. Are we allowed to say where he is?
Yeah.
Just
No,
say
he's not
beach.
in. He's not in on the.
No, I didn't want to
witness
give his
protection
exact
agency.
location.
I've been watching a lot of Narcos, so
Oh.
I know. I know.
I don't want to give it away. Maybe
don't wanna
somebody's
just-
looking for him, and I don't want to. He just
Loose
that's
lips.
beach. I mean, I could say beach. It could be West Coast beach. Could be East Coast beach. Could be I don't know, Island Beach somewhere. But he's at the beach.
Oh, Kevin said he's good now, so let's see if it works.
Oh, he can hear now. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes.
Oh.
Oh, so it was Kevin's fault. It wasn't our fault. It was.
Kevin's
Hello.
already ruined the show.
Hello, hold on. Okay, now hold on. We have to put your graphic up because we're being joined live.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah, we can hear you.
And we can also see you now.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
Lord.
fine. Yes. Now we're joined on the First Amendment Sports Hotline by Kevin
He's
Ricca.
gonna hate it.
I don't think so. It's a great picture.
If you could see me right now, it's probably better looking than what T's giggling at.
I don't know. We're seeing
sound
you.
of T's giggle.
We're seeing you right now.
What picture do you have up there?
I
I'm
just-
very
No,
curious.
it's from the internet, so it has to.
Yeah,
Be,
you just type Ricca, Kevin Ricca, and it pops up.
Kevin,
I
are
have no words.
you at training camp right now? You're not at training camp right now. You're training for something.
I'm not. I'm nervous.
You're not training for
He's
anything.
I'm very
He's in
nervous right
training.
now.
He's in training. Players have officially reported, just so we can announce the schedule of things to all the folks that are hanging out with us on a weekly basis, and we appreciate that. Don't hesitate to hit a subscribe or a thumb for this guy. This guy right here, he loves thumbs. We are going to, we're closing out the year one AD. That's what we're doing tonight and next week.
Yes.
So the year one AD is kaput. We will kick off the year two AD next week with a. I like to.
we're still not
festival.
sure about it being 2 AD though officially.
Well, I mean, it will be the year two AD. We just don't know if that's what we're going to call it on the
Correct.
show. I mean, we're gonna keep track. I mean, time. It is
Okay.
the year of our Lord two AD. Heading into the season, and there's means for celebration. I think these are important times to never forget. Never forget. Wait. Yeah, there it is. Never forget. We will. Players are reporting. Things are starting to happen. I think let's just put to bed a couple of old stories. And I
What
just.
a fat picture of me, you dick.
I was like I was just like vamping, waiting for you to
I knew
actually
he
get a
couldn't
thing.
hold out. I knew he was looking. He was too quiet.
When is that an interview from? That's like you talking for a whole
I
someone else.
wasn't looking. My wife just walked in with a full pearly smile and a phone. My mother-in-law just crapped her pants. She's laughing so.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Yes,
We have
great.
accomplished what we came here to do tonight.
Tuesday's
we can call
a
it a night
success.
if we want.
Sister-in-law had
We'll go
the
a
same
little
cackle
longer.
as mother-in-law. You guys have the same cackle.
Oh, it's so
Holy
good.
shit.
Well, hey, Aaron and fam.
No,
we love all you guys.
That was Teresa. That was my mother-in-law.
Miss Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
She took that picture right after I was stung by a nest filled with bees.
That was at least, and filmed with 17 cameras.
Plus, I was starving.
How is the beach?
That's
How is the beach? How are you doing? How was your
I'm
day?
great. I had a very positive, uplifting day until I
I
saw
bet.
Smorgasbord Kev live. Oh man, he spoke in a Norwegian accent too. But no, it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
Good weather.
I guess I'm probably not.
Good
Yeah,
weather.
it's been good. It has
All
been
right.
good. We've
That's
had
great.
some great days.
Good beach day.
No, man.
Nice.
Today was a perfect beach day. It's been incredible, man. I'm sitting in a church pew right now on a podcast with the stained glass above me, praying for all of us involved. After I saw you guys you put me up, and
You're
I
on
have so many
live.
pictures.
You're on
I
live
mean,
in
you know,
Wales right now.
They gotta know
Live
you're on the
in
phone,
Wales.
Man. You gotta know you're on the phone.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I will stop talking. I was trying to be patient and not talk too much. Then
No.
my wife showed me a picture, and it was all face and neck.
There's
So
some ear.
much face.
Some good ear there too.
So much neck. Oh
I
my
think it's-
god! I was like at 19 and 4/4.
It's a lot of innocence too. It's like I think there's just a lot of hope and
There's nothing innocent about that. Person,
naivete about the world. I feel like that's the face of like, hey, you know what? Things are gonna start happening for me. That's
Now
what
you're disrespecting. You're disrespecting the hard work it took to get there, Ken. That's really what you're doing right now. The dedication, the late nights, the calories, tasty dine. It was amazing. All right.
No, it's a testament, obviously. All right, so Kevin, we're not going to spend any time on Brandon Ayuk this week. He's going to play for the San Francisco 49ers unless something changes. If it does, we'll get to that, right?
Well, we covered that last week.
Yeah, well, it's been covered.
It was titillating
ad nauseam.
last week. It's not as titillating this
No,
week.
it's not.
There's been no new leakage. There's been no
leakage.
new teasing going on. So let's move on.
I do
until it becomes real.
I will say I do think San Francisco is they're posturing, and they're rightly so. Worst case scenario, they have an all-pro wide receiver play for him this season for $14 million. They've got to feel pretty good about that. Best case scenario for us, they're saying they're like, hey, is he reporting? We expect all of our players to report. Is he going to be playing, practicing in training camp? We expect all of our players to practice. Is he going to be blah, blah, blah? We expect all of our players to do this. Like, they're not, this isn't going the way of joyful reunion with a record-breaking contract. That's all I'm saying. This is going the way of, we have to maintain the most value possible, because at some point in time, either he shows up and it's all over, or he doesn't ever show up and they have to be like, God damn it, we have to get something for him. And I don't know.
Every time you say we're not going to talk about Brandon Ayuk, we wind up.
I know. I was just going to let him go and see how far he went.
You're right. No,
I was done.
Yeah, I could hear it. I could hear it too.
Let's move on.
Let's move on from Brandon Ayuk,
Dude, camp starts tomorrow.
Who I would love to be on our team.
You got to be excited. I'm pumped. I've actually never. I don't think I've ever been this pumped for training camp to start, or at least I can't remember.
Last year was pretty great.
Last time I was,
just because of the whole changeover in the regime. But I'm with you, T. I think that the coolest thing about our training camp is that, I mean, we're doing everything. So we were rock bottom. If you want to believe we were rock bottom last year. And the end of the Dan Snyder era has to be at the rock bottom. Year 180 starts at rock bottom, just in terms of that. Like, we have yet again a coaching staff we believe in. I mean, we've been down that road part of it.
First of all, put up Greg Martin's.
Where are we at?
Is comment along that lines about Quinn. Just reading some of his quotes, getting ready to go camp. How he is making me excited. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, his energy right now is awesome. I think it's exactly what this team needs. That old school veteran, just mentality. And if he can get that to rub off on all these guys, this is gonna be fun.
The energy part is you can't overstate it because of the difference between him and Ron Rivera in that regard. I think you're going to see a little bit more animated coaching on Sundays. I think he's going to strike a different pose. Now, does that mean he's a better coach than Ron Rivera? I don't know. We'll see. But it's going to look different. It's going to sound different, and it's refreshing. It's very football-esque. It's not. We're not. It's not new age. We didn't go the Mike McDaniel's route where it looked like we hired our accountant to be our head coach, and who knows what's going to go out.
Which we all wanted until we realized some didn't want to be here and others were.
I know.
Better somewhere else. I'm actually so happy.
This is a tried and true. This is a well-traveled football path.
I don't know. Maybe it's cognitive dissonance. I don't know. But I'm ready to ride with this dude. I think he's going to be perfect for this. For what we need.
This goes all the way back to when you started playing football, when Kevin started playing football. That's the kind of guy Dan Quinn is. That's the Dan Quinn coaching situation. It kind of was for Ron Rivera as well. But really, I was trying to think about it before. Because he played for the '85 Bears, he's not a wilting flower. But like, Kevin, tell me if you agree or disagree with this, or how you would change it. But I was trying to think of the most legit NFL head coach that we hired, besides Joe Jackson Gibbs, who was our guy, over the years. And I thought that like the most relevant hire was Marty Schottenheimer, in the sense that he had a bunch of success in the league. He was old school. He knew how to win. And he was gonna do what he did. Now, I'm not comparing their styles or anything like that, but just the credibility of a coach who's been in the league and that players know who they are.
Ken, I'm on vacation. I'm 40 minutes away from Salisbury University. It used to be called Salisbury State. We're 1990 grad. 94 grad. If I was a year before him, we would have played against.
He's
dropping
bouncing
out.
in and out.
Oh,
We're
no.
bouncing in and out.
You got to work on that Wi-Fi, Kev.
We lost you for a second, Kev.
What happened?
We lost you for a second.
know.
Aaron walked in. When you walk in, the Wi-Fi is going crazy.
I think Aaron's got you.
Aaron,
I
don't
think
walk
Aaron
in.
got the button, the mute, the censor button.
All right, so you love this guy because of the history, your proximity to his alma mater, how close you were to playing against him.
He's a D3 cat from right up the road, man. I mean, he's just he built himself into this, is what I'm saying. He's lived and learned. He was up 28-3 against the GOAT, and he lost. And he keeps on fighting back. And that's the type of guy you kind of want in your foxhole, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thought down here. Everyone that's a Redskins fan is talking about the Commanders down here. And Dan Quinn has got people buzzing. It's a fact, not all over the Bethany Beach portion. I'm talking about the back roads here, Berlin, heading into town, finding them golf courses that Ken likes to be playing. These are where the people are having these conversations. They're very proud of him.
Yeah.
They really, really are looking forward to a whole new dynamic of what we have to offer. And that's a different part of the state now. And they've been ravened up a tad bit. They're trying to be pulled back, but a lot of these old school cats can't wait to see what Dan Quinn's got to bring to the burgundy and gold.
Well, I think so kind of just continuing on the theme of training camp starts, it's a new look. T's excited because of the manner in which this coaching staff is credentialed first and foremost, but also their energy, their style,
Yep,
their reputation. These aren't slackers.
but I'm also, and we've touched on this before. Dan Quinn, as Kevin just rightly said, he's made it to the ship. He's made it to the Super Bowl.
He had it in his
He's
hands.
been there. He's had it in his hand. It was ripped out. And you know, if you just watch and kind of read and keep track of people like Michael Jordan, Tom Brady's the best, the Kobe Bryant's, they constantly talk about their failures. They constantly point out their failures, not their achievements, their failures, because it's the failures that get them to be great. And I kind of look at what he's already been through, and now the second chance he's getting to be a head coach, to prove that he can do it. I think he's got a little bit more in the tank, a little bit more in the chutzpah to get things going. I really think this guy is ready to go, because I think he's out to prove that he's learned from that, and he's ready to take it to another level.
More than that, once again, I am excited about this coaching staff. I am excited about this new start. I am excited about the matching of personnel to everything. I'm excited about all of it. And I can't stop hearing myself 15 different times over the last 20 years. And it's something. It's a real thing. It's a Redskins fan thing. But we're we've tried to kind of figured out how to land on like what's real and what's not real. For example, when Steve Spurrier was our head coach, I think we all understood Marvin Lewis was what's real about that coaching staff. When we had, forget about all the rest of the crap. There's always been what's real and what's not real. With Dan Quinn, what's real is Joe Witt. What's real is Cliff Kingsbury. What's real is Ken Norton Jr., Anthony Lynn. These assistant coaches, they're not up and comers. These guys are dudes who know how to do things, who understand how to communicate to today's player, and have been successful at multiple stops along the way, and have enjoyed success in this league as players, as coaches, all of it. Pedigree. We're talking about pedigree. So there's all kinds of pedigree on this coaching staff, and that's like that when we talk about Mike McDonald, who got the 6-year deal to go out to Seattle, who we really liked, the defensive guy from Baltimore, and you talk about getting Dan Quinn, the truth of the matter is Dan Quinn was ready with the staff on day one, and which may not have been apparent to all of us.
Planning it. He has been thinking about it ever since he left Atlanta. He's been thinking, what am I going to do different? How am I going to do it so it's going to be better? Yeah, I think that's why we're in a great position with this guy.
And you talk about the search. You talk about how we got here. Ben Johnson falls by the wayside. Some of these other coaches and coordinators end up at the bottom of the heap.
Number one, you're right.
Or that we didn't think he was.
Right.
But the fact that he came in so ready to go speaks to our process and how we got here to this guy. But it also speaks to like I looked at it today. Like there's no comparison between our coaching staff and Seattle's coaching staff right now. I mean, Mike McDonald is going to have to coach his brains out in Seattle for them to overcome the difference between their staff and our staff.
Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn can the perfect energy for the job, the perfect vibe for the gig. I forget about Mike McDonald and his whole coaching style. He's more laid back, subdued guy. We needed this optimistic, positive badass to come in here and say stuff like, "We're gonna do hard shit. We're gonna be tough as nails. We're gonna be physical." We needed this jolt of life that he's put into us with the idea that he's been there and he's done it and he's ready to redefine what happened to him up 28-3 immediately. And then, like T just said, he's been thinking about it, pondering. His energy, his vibe is so great for what's happening right now. It really fits into what we're trying to get to, what we're doing. And when you bring in a guy that runs faster offense, Mr. Kingsbury, than anyone on planet Earth, the vibe is definitely it's a total 180. Total 180.
Dude, you sound so much smarter than you look. It's no doubt.
The legend grows.
I hate the fat, swollen picture of me. I hate it. It's so gross. I want to punch myself in the face.
Dude, by the way, you've lost 10. I mean, that guy that we're having a picture of weighs 3 times as much as you. But Kevin, the cool thing about
talking about how unintelligent I look, all chubby, fat.
I said you sound so much smarter than you look. That's just that.
Oh.
It's a compliment.
Well, thank you.
It's a compliment.
Oh shit!
In sorts.
I'm excited about the coaching staff. Obviously, I'm excited about Dan Quinn coming in here and leading the players. But the notion that we've had iteration of coaches, not every coach, and specifically not Marty Schottenheimer for what I'm about to say. We've had coaches come through here that have been able to bring in the kinds of players that they were looking to play a brand of football, to be cute, to be smarter than everybody else. I mean, we haven't always had like Steve Spurrier famously gave our entire team a week off at the bye because of a win. Because of how many wins we had. I mean, the game of football is a very physical, very brutal, very visceral event, and it requires a certain intestinal fortitude that you can't fake, and you can't fake because of how fast you are, how strong you are, or how quick you are. I mean, it's brutal and it's violent. And Dan Quinn's the kind of coach that understands I need to make my guys ready for that.
So I read a quote of his today. I don't know what the question was, but it led him to talk about whether he was, keeping an eye on wins or losses or something. That when he says, "I don't care about in year one." Wins and losses don't matter to me. What matters to me is that we set the identity of this organization and set the foundation of who we are going to be. He says, first and foremost, before we win a game or anything, that's what we have to accomplish before the first game. And he says it's going to be hard, physical, smart play, and winning games when it really counts. He goes, that's what I want this team to be. That's what he's going in with the mindset. I thought it was an awesome, awesome quote, and it actually backs up everything you just talked about.
There's a mentality to the game, and we in the modern era of football, when you talk about hundreds of millions of dollars of salary cap, $1 billion contracts, and it's clearly a business, and it's a every man for himself scenario with agents and managers and all that crap. Year in and year out, the game is won by the best, toughest, most physical team. I think we have the staff that can put that in place. But T, what you and I'm pointing at you behind Kevin's head, you are bringing up the next thing that I want to talk. And Kevin, I'll give you first crack at this because this is the other thing. And we're so good at this, by the way. We're so good at this. And it's this.
Is it a cheese plate?
It's a cheese plate.
Sorry.
I was going to say charcuterie board because then you get some meat and cheese and olives because I don't like the olives, but other people like the olives. So when they go for the olives, I rack up on the cheese.
I prefer crudité.
Oof. Well, judging by the picture we're looking at, that's a guy who loves crudité. clearly. He's very French. He's very French. Year one. It's year one of a new coaching era, right? The Ron Rivera was here and gone. We've had a lot of eras, a lot of coaching errors. We've watched them come. We've watched them go.
Eras or errors? Errors.
I heard it too.
Errors. He's saying errors.
Errors.
You could put errors in there too, I guess.
It's year one. The first year. It's the
Look,
honeymoon
if you haven't won
phase.
anything that matters, it's errors.
It's errors.
They haven't gotten the right guy.
We've had a lot of boners, a lot of dislocated boners.
Yeah, a lot of dislocated ones actually.
But what we always do, and we do this. I mean, I'm saying, like, we've done this a lot over the last 20 years. This is the honeymoon year. This is year one. This is what, to Dan Quinn's point, he's talking about year one, setting the identity, understanding who we are. But it was just a reminder that, yet again, we are on the front side of a new program. You know, it's the beginning of a new program, and there's so much newness. And so automatically, you know, he's throwing wins and losses out the window, of course, because it's year one, and he gets a long leash. He has a rookie quarterback, long leash, a million free agents, you know, long leash. Nobody signed basically after next year, super long leash. So as excited as we are about what's happening right this very second with the mentality and the philosophy part
and
of it,
all the long leashes. There's so many fucking.
There's so many long leashes, dude. So Kevin. Dan Quinn, year one. Let's start to define. We're not going to do it tonight. Let's start to define what success means in year one for Dan Quinn.
Well, I would say this: in the last 18 billion years, someone's come in, swept up, thrown a coat of paint on, and shuffled the chairs around and called it a new era. We just gutted the building. We demolished the whole everything. There's no employees left after Jason Wright, he gone. And now it's finished. This is a whole new regime from the ground up. And that's what he's talking about. When T's excited about what you're excited about is we're now building a foundation that hasn't been here since the late 70s, early 80s, when the Squire made his presence felt without making any football decisions.
Correct.
But he made general business decisions for the greatness of the franchise, and boy, he did pretty dang good. And I think this guy's picking up what he was laying down 40 years ago, and it's going to benefit us all. So we can finally have an era where our kids can join in and share what we grew up adoring. I'm on a beach vacation filming this stuff right now. Like, these guys deserve to be talking about why the Commanders are going to have a good year. Now, we're not all in, but the hope is there, and it's going to be a resounding scenario, as well with some of our other local franchises. But right now, we're pumped about having Jade Daniels rolling into town. Everyone cannot wait. Yes. I don't know if we've said that enough. This guy might be something that we really desperately need, along with Daniel
Quinn. You're pumped. Ken's pumped. I'm pumped. The board's pumped. You definitely look like you're all in, though.
You look pretty pumped.
Definitely all in. And I love it. I freaking love it, man.
Sean Astin,
you're
like
firing me up, Kev.
Some Hobbits scenarios are coming through on the board. Filthy Hobbits is. But so, I mean, the coolest part about it is that, besides the fact that we love Erin so much, she sent us this picture, by the way, and made us promise to use it. The coolest thing about
I can't see my own phone. I can't watch the show on my phone and hear you.
I think people are starting to finally to get in. And now, hey, listen, man, I told you you didn't have to be on here for more than 20 minutes. Can I get you out on something? Or you want to hang out for another segment?
No, get me out on something. What do you mean?
All right.
Oh, no. I would love to do another segment.
All right.
I want to do what you guys want me to do.
He's not ready to go.
All right.
Nobody wants Kevin to go. Everybody. I mean,
my lovely wife just poured me a high noon and brought it to me. So I'm thinking she's having a good time over there. And it doesn't matter. We're only 11 steps away, but like it seems. Yeah. She's walking over. Wi-Fi's about to go crazy because.
All right, that's okay. We'll keep you. We'll shorten you up there a little bit.
Did she find a fatter picture of me somewhere? Maybe in the archive. She was microfiching for a fatter picture of me.
She was scavenging the books today. Yeah, the thing about us, like people our age, is when people are like get a good picture of somebody, and you have to like go into like a a chest, or you have to go through old like literal physical pictures and be like, oh, this is Kevin in the 7th grade and 8th grade. I mean, it's like now you just go on your phone and you be like, Kevin Ricca, 7th grade. Let's see it.
Gross. I don't think you should type that, Ken.
Worst search history discovery ever. Okay, if I'm deleting that search history, obviously. So we've established that the coaching staff is ready for this challenge. Obviously, they're in charge. They're pushing things through. Obviously, we've spent a lot of time on Adam Peters. We're going to keep coming back to Adam Peters. We're going to come back to Josh Harris. We're going to come back to these guys. But I think now our eyes, these were all off-season stories until this very second. Now our eyes turn to
the field.
Yeah. How is Jaden Daniels processing plays coming into him? Yeah. How are Allegretti, Biotish, and Brandon Coleman and some of these guys fitting in on the offensive line? How freaking good does Frankie Louvu look? Because I'm telling you right now, he looks like a Adonis missile made out of stone.
Ken.
Sorry. Between that and my Kevin Ricca 7th grade search history, I'm going down. But dude, Frankie Louvu, I don't think I can go an entire show from here on out without saying his name. I see somebody who is the centerpiece of a legit defense.
He's going to be an immense badass around here for the next 3 years.
Undrafted. Fought his way onto special teams units. Fought his way past people who were drafted higher and paid higher than him.
Sounds like someone Dan Quinn would love.
Oh God, yes.
Oh Lord.
You know the cool thing?
We're all gonna love him.
I know you guys read this today, or before today, but that Frankie Louvu, one of his coaches, one of his linebacking coaches in the past was Kevin Green, the late great Hall of Fame Kevin Green from the Pittsburgh Steelers. We watched him play when we were younger. For those who don't know, he was just a long-haired menace and a fun guy to watch.
Monster.
Yes. And he coached Frankie Louvu, and they watched film together, and Frankie Louvu figured out how to play the game from, among others, Kevin Green. And
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And they were watching tape of Ryan Kerrigan. And he shows up to FedEx or wherever. He shows up here. Ryan Kerrigan, of course, is one of our position coaches, and he's like, dude, this is crazy. I'm literally watching film of you and your technique and the way you do things with Kevin Green, and now he's one of his coaches. Which is, by the way, is another interesting side story to our coaching staff, because he's a holdover. He might be the only holdover, one of the only, if not the only holdover. Yes. And they decided to keep him around with Ken Norton Jr., which I just can't say enough about it. Like, that's just an easy layup, hard slam dunk decision. Kevin, I want to
because that's Ryan Kerrigan.
That's Ryan Kerrigan. It's freaking Ryan Kerrigan. It's him and Dexter Manley. And you can have all the conversations you want, but in our lifetimes, no one sacked more quarterbacks in our jersey than Dexter Manley and Ryan Kerrigan, and they both deserve to be revered and admired for that. The game of football is very simple: protect the passer, bring the passer down. That's it. That's everything.
And Ken Meringolo knows his sack masters like no one else.
That's it. And
Master of the sack.
Master of the sack. Well, not so much with Kevin out here. I mean, Kevin, with Frankie Louvu, can we just give me some Frankie Louvu love, just off the cuff?
Sir, so the edge that we've been talking about being set for years, generations. Kerrigan wasn't just an edge setter. He was our athlete. He was our dude. We didn't want to ask him. He was always double team. You don't ask him to set an edge, take on a triple team. This guy is going to dominate his position on the field, the space, the area wherein he plays the game of football will be dominated by him, controlled by him. He's in control of that portion. I don't care who he's playing against. And that's a cool thing to have for 3 years in this defense where he's going to be the guy that sets the tone as a physical presence for everyone near him.
Yep.
And that's why we're all going to be in love with him. And I can't get enough of him. I said off air all the time, we haven't talked enough about this guy.
We haven't.
There's many a dude we haven't talked enough about all over the place. But he's a guy that on Sundays, get your second bag of popcorn ready because all of a sudden we got a guy in town who wants to be here that we got on a very fair deal who's a specific threat find for what we're trying to accomplish here in town. So he checks every possible box, man.
Luvu and Chin. I mean, I can't say it enough. I know I'm not going to bore everyone to tears like I did 2 weeks ago. It's Luvu and Chin. Those two guys, they're playing for everything for us. I think we got guys, but I've thought that before, and it's impacted my credibility a little bit. So, let's let them play it out. Let's see what they got in training camp. Kevin.
Well, that's what's also so exciting because you said it. They're on the field. Now they get to prove it. Now we get to talk about what really matters is what's happening on the field. We get to see it develop. We get to see Quinn's vision get shaped. It's not going to be ready tomorrow, but it's going to be ready hopefully by opening day. So that's why this is exciting.
I'm going to go ahead, T, and follow up your excitement with. I just want to tell you two first. This is going to be a preseason that I will embrace with happiness and pride. Every game, every second counts. How about that? Everything counts.
I love it. And
good bear reference.
Ooh, T got that before I could say it.
Exactly.
Every second counts. Every second counts.
Exactly what it was. No, but I just wanted you guys to know, you guys gave me the bear, and I'm giving you this back. I am not going to poo-poo. Everything that we do matters right now because it all has to be set to a certain standard. And I want to watch the standard be set. We want to watch how we go about laying this foundation that we just talked about tonight.
And I don't want to not say how good I feel about this. Because I've not felt good about it before, and we've talked about it very openly and bluntly and honestly. I feel good about this. No one's making Super Bowl, airfare and hotels at this point in time. But that's not what it's all about for us. So I feel great about it at EO. We agree with you. They got to prove it. This is the whole part of we've been hurt for 20 years. We need these guys to come up and show. They got to show it on the field. The interesting part about it is that they can. They're going to have the opportunity to. I guess the other big story, and this is the last one, I'll get you out of here, Kev, is the meaningful movement towards an 18-game regular season. And I only bring that up because you just talked about how excited you are about the preseason and how you're invested now. I think it's going to help people like you. They're going to get rid of some of these games. It's going to be more about the practices, and you show up for game one without 4 preseason games. Who cares? Is there any way you see? Let's say they go down to 2 preseason games, Kevin. This is my question for you. 2 preseason games. Are either of those 2 games? Are you like having like a family, like old school Redskins party around either of those 2 games?
No, sorry.
Okay, all right. Okay.
No, but we could because no one's going to care and not watch, blah blah.
Sure.
But fine. No, but I'm not going to like. It wouldn't be centered around one of those 2 games.
Okay.
What I'm screaming is let us have 7 more players, maybe 10, for the 18-game season where everyone's going to get, I don't know, beat the living shit out of.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's fine though. Just like, come on, you guys make $8 bazillion. You can afford each team of the 32 to have 5 to 8 more guys and make sure that everyone else is taken care of. We know what it takes. We know. We've seen it around here. We've led the league in roster injuries 3 of the last 7 years, I believe. We're always in the mix. So, although last year was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Last year we didn't get it. Last year was fine. Thanks. It's weird, but it's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, give everyone a couple more dudes. Let them get a little slice of that pie. It's a gigantic one. So,
Kev, give me one
but
thing.
18 is way more better. Go ahead. Sorry.
Give me one thing to research before you show up here next Tuesday night, so that we can have a conversation in a second for T and I for next week. One
Search
thing.
Hit Street.
We'll have a week of training camp in our back pocket. We'll have the league. We'll have a week of training camp in their back pockets. So there'll be all kinds of storylines and headlines and hopefully not injuries, but roster needs may or may not change in the next week across the league. What's one thing in this first week of training camp that you have just said that you're all in on? What's the number one thing, and therefore the number one thing we'll be talking about next week?
In training camp, T. Strachan can attest to this. The defense is always far ahead of the offense. Correct? It's just how it is, and that's how it eases into it. I think specifically this defense with some of the dudes on there is way, way, way ahead of an offense of a rookie quarterback with a rookie wide receiver with at the slot. I'm talking about Mr. McCaffrey, and then the adjustments and Eckler being in the mix, and a new 3/5 alignment. Like, we cannot let our defense just completely throw. Lufu cannot just ruin the soul of our offense. Do you hear what I'm saying? Bobby Wagner and the boys. We can't have the two tackles just mauling it. The evolution of the offense as quickly as possible is the only reason we have a chance to survive and exist in September and October.
Okay.
Because we know they're going to get there. We know they're going to get there. So the evolution of this offense off the jump start against a veteran-laden, if not, they've never played together, defense, though. We're some bad dudes. So I just don't want this offense to get crushed from the jump. And watching the offense, to me, evolve and gain confidence and whatever way that goes is going to be so interesting.
So we'll be on the look for that. I know EO offered his will Cosme demand Darasol money. We'll talk about that. And then Greg Martin said, will we extend anyone during training camp? I think there's going to be, I mean, listen, Greg brought it up, not me. There's no way. We're obviously going to hold some money if there's a chance to get Brandon Ayuk. I do think that. And if you don't get Brandon Ayuk, then yeah, you got to extend somebody.
I don't even think we had to hold money for that. We already got money.
Yeah, we have all the money. We have
all
the money.
There's money. Right.
Let's if Cosme demands Darasol money, all I can say is what I always say, and that is if he deserves market rate money and you pay a guy who deserves it market rate money, you're never going to lose there. And because then it's just injury risk. So Cosme's been playing. Cosme's shown. Let's all remember when Cosme came in, he was a tackle at University of Texas. We recognized that he was going to be a project, but that he was someone who could start on the offensive line in the National Football League right away. He did. He struggled, but he found his spot. There's 5 guys there. They have their jobs are very, very important, and he did his job very, very well. So if he continues to do his job very, very well, then yeah, he should be paid what he's worth. The good news for the Washington, whatever we're going to be called, is we have a fuck ton of money to pay guys who are worth their money. I mean, we do. We're not married to anybody. If anybody wants to prove their worth market rate, they're going to get it. I mean,
it's a business. That's what they do.
I know. And there's room for us to pay these guys. And the model exists. And we look
Is
no
the
further.
question, will he get it or will he demand it? I'm definitely going to demand it.
Well, yeah, demand is. I don't care about demand. If he's worth it, because the cool thing about it is, and I was thinking, I've been thinking about this, and I think everyone kind of knows this without having to say it, because Kevin and T and I, we've been talking about this. Adam Peters just came from an organization that figured out how to develop best players in position groups, and found out that how to pay the best players their market rate, and how to do it in bulk. So Kevin Pease, I would say that the ability for the San Francisco 49ers to pay that many guys market rate, it bodes well, because that's the guy who's leading our organization now, and we have all kinds of money. all the space. We have all the space for 4 or 5 years away. And as Kevin zips up and leaves the bathroom.
Did he just pee?
Oh, for sure he did.
Did you just take a tinkle?
Oh, yeah. No, 100% he did. And that's the door. He's just leaving the door. Did you just walk into a saloon?
He just tinkled.
He's going to try to act like he didn't just do it.
He had to go really bad.
Sorry, guys. There's a bit of a delay here. I couldn't hear what you were saying.
Yeah, sure.
Bit of a delay.
We
Bit
heard
of a
plenty.
delay. Kevin, we're going to see you here. It's going to be an extravaganza party night in the basement. We want everyone to be with us. We're going to let Kevin go. T and I are going to close things out. Continue your vacation, if we're going to call it that. And we'll see you very soon in a couple of days. We'll see you on Thursday, and then we're going to see you again next week. We're going to talk about the training. We're going to talk about training camp. We're going to talk about that offense. Kevin, thank you so much for giving us some of your very, very, very precious family vacation time.
And thank you so much for finally allowing me to pee on air. It's been a dream of mine for 9 to 10 years.
We enjoyed listening to it.
Oh, so good. All right.
I sat down. I was sitting down.
We love you.
Work.
We love you.
Work.
Obviously, we love you.
Yes.
It's New
You
Year's.
guys, love you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Let's get rid of some of this junk on the screen. We got on the hotline, and he's up. Whoa! So much room.
I know, right?
Whew. It feels like the basement's bigger now. I don't know why. Thanks for carrying the ring. By the way,
there's some more of the ring stuff going on in here.
Well, because they so initially there was an initial comparison of him to Sean Astin, and there was a big Rudy thing.
Yes.
But he also played the main character in Lord of the Rings, and so we have this whole Lord of the Rings thing going on as well. Someone said he ate all of the elven bread, which I just love all of that stuff. So thank you guys so much.
Ken is asking us, are we going to do an Olympic special? Or
No. So
were you saying that
I think next
Kevin
week
deserves to be in the Special Olympics? I'm not sure what you're trying to say here.
Olympic. Yeah, maybe he backed the words between.
I'm not sure. Please clarify, Ken.
Well, and by the way, if you're going to really have a hard time with that, if a quadriplegic with cancer wants to call you Special Olympics, guess what? That's what you are. I mean, there's no coming back from that.
No comebacks.
No comebacks. I'm just saying, if you just got dealt every bad card, and then the guy who carried the ring apparently for a while comes on your toe, that's what's gonna happen. I want to give T a couple takes here. I have a couple questions for you, T, and we're gonna wrap up the show this way.
Okay.
All right. So, you've gotten ready for many a football season, both as a coverer of football, but also as a player. So I want to take you back all the way back to when you were. I want to see like the difference between you and I when we were in grade school. For me, it was pound ball. So you had to weigh in. Were you by grade or pound by then for football? Pounds. Okay. When did it switch to age?
It was always weight
until high school for you. Because for us, it was always that. Now it's a little bit different and convoluted.
Now there's age and weight. It was always age and weight, but you could actually the less you weighed, the older you could be. But I don't know how it's done now. So exactly. But what are you getting at?
Hold on, we got a shameless McNamara plug. Everybody cheer for Nicole Yezergan, BMHS 2016. Wait, what? Give me the event. Where can we cheer for Nicole? I just saw this on social media, and I'm ashamed that I can't pull it. But I got a lot going on in my head right now, Ken Harris. So lead us off. So it sounds like we got a McNamara Olympian. First question takes us all the way back to when I was in, I don't know, 6th grade. That first day of practice, you know, in August,
yes,
or whenever it was.
Yes.
So, first of all, did you do anything before that first day of practice? Other than just play tackle football with all your buddies every day?
I would throw with my dad or my brothers.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. For us, they had a barn. There was a barn in Southern Maryland, and this barn was packed with shoulder pads, pants with the pads all loaned out in them.
Should be.
When I say barn, I mean like a active tobacco barn. It wasn't corporate. It was that's just where someone's like, hey, you can keep all your.
Got to put your equipment somewhere.
You can put all your shit here. So they'd haul us all in, and we'd all be all in a long line, and you get your pants with your pads in them, and your shoulder pads and your helmet. So and this was Maplewood for you, right? Did Maplewood have that, or did you already have all that stuff going in to
No, we had to do equipment day.
Equipment day.
Yep. You had to show up, and you had to, build your. I did eventually buy myself a helmet, a bike helmet.
Yep. Dude,
I wanted the bike helmet. My mom wanted me to be protected. So
sure.
I got the bike helmet.
Plus, I don't think I ever got anything that didn't just absolutely stink. Like I was like, oh my god, there's a smell. I don't believe this has been sterilized.
You're not doing it right. You don't stink.
Oh, dude.
If you don't stink during 2 days in camp, then you're doing it wrong.
Everything was just so.
That's the way it is.
I'm like, there's no way they can reuse this. And yet I feel pretty confident someone's wearing those very pads and pants this very second. So equipment day was awesome. Oh, here we go.
4x400 relay.
Representing Great Britain.
Great Britain.
All right, we're going to have to let her slide.
You know what?
There.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give myself an assignment for next week. I'm going to come up with all the WCAC people who are in the Olympics right now. I think there's going to be.
Ooh.
I think there's going to be a few.
Yeah. Do we have a runner? Don't we have a sprinter?
We do. I think the Matha does. I didn't want to say it without being totally confident, but I believe we do. And we have, besides the WCAC, this area has produced plenty. Certainly in swimming. Oh, yeah. 3 from Stone Ridge, which is literally, what, 1.5 miles from where we are right now?
Easy. Or less.
So I'm going to do that.
All right.
I'm going to come with a little bit of a
all right. So that'll be our
local flavor next week.
That'll be our special Olympics coverage. An extra pause.
There you go, Ken. We'll do something.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, AGH. I know. I'll fill it up there. He doesn't cheer on UK. Of course you don't. You don't cheer on GB. He's from Wales. He roots for the Welsh. He doesn't root for the Brits, which I respect, and that's just the way it is.
You can't be happy for an individual.
I don't know. If someone from Virginia was somewhere, I probably wouldn't be that happy about it. I'd be like, screw you, Virginia guy. I want a Maryland guy.
All right.
Our flag's so much better. So AGH, you get that. All right, so then graduate to the next question. All right, so what was for you, because you were kind of bigger and taller and more, where they say like high school athletes are college ready, you were a high school ready athlete.
By 8 years old, I was dieting every year to make weight.
Yeah. So you had a body that was ready to go to the next level. So when you went to DeMatha your freshman year, first of all, who was quarterback that year?
My freshman year, the senior quarterback was Dan Crowley. Dan Crowley.
Dan Crowley. Oh, Dan Crowley, yes. Of course. By the way, if you're watching tonight, Dan, hats off. Awesome.
You're my boy, Dan.
You're my boy, Dan.
Dan actually went on to Towson. He held the record for being the most prolific passer in the state of Maryland at the college level, which included all the Maryland quarterbacks, Boomer Esiason, and everybody. He went on to the CFL and had an 11-year career there. He's well established in his football resume.
So you show up. Did your size help you that much at the next level when you got to high school? I mean, were you was Bill McGregor, because you came in as a quarterback, was Bill McGregor putting you? I mean, were you doing Oklahomas? Were you doing those kinds of drills and those kinds of things?
No.
Okay, that's the main thing.
No.
Okay.
And that, in fact,
I didn't play high school. So
after my freshman year, I just told somebody the other day. After my freshman year, Bill wouldn't let me or any other quarterbacks do anything where our hands hit the ground. So no up downs, no crab walks. We had our own special little.
I love it.
We had our own special.
That's kind of what I was. That's kind of what I wanted
to save our hands, our fingers.
Got to save your fingers.
Yep.
How many manicures did you have during your high school years?
0.
Okay. All right. Chris Carter that question came from Chris Carter.
Okay.
And then I guess as someone who covered so much college football in the area, so many different quarterbacks, so many different styles in terms of offenses. While University of Maryland, I know, hasn't been prominent on the international scene that obviously that watches our show every Tuesday night. At the end of the day, if you know that we've had some really really good offenses here, and in fact have turned over a lot of offensive players into the league over the time that you've covered the University of Maryland Terrapins. And so I would ask you. The kind of offensive you've seen a lot of offensive. I guess my point is you've seen a lot of offensive changes. You the Phrygian to from the
Maryland alone, you've gone from run and shoot to
everything.
Yes,
everything. And so and our quarterbacks as a result have changed with
right.
So we have a rookie quarterback coming in. We got a brand new offensive coordinator coming in. Obviously, there's some players who have been are holdovers from previous regimes. What's the first thing that has to happen that for all that to start like working? For
an offense,
who's it on? How about? Let me start by asking you this: who carries the heaviest burden? Is it Cliff Kingsbury? Is it Jaden Daniels? Is it Dan Quinn?
Well, no, you've named the first two. I mean,
okay.
Is it 1A, 1B? Probably for your offense coordinator and your quarterback to be on the same page. Offense coordinator, because he's got to see the whole. He's got to be the artist, right? He's got to be the one that sees the whole. He can see the picture of what he wants before he's put it on the canvas, right? He's already got it pictured. He's now got to make sure the pieces are in place and that everybody's doing it the right way so that the picture that he has envisioned actually comes to fruition.
Yep.
Right. So that's important. For Daniels, it's about the nuts and bolts, how it works, how it runs, why it works, why it runs that way. That's where he needs to get. And then it's everybody else who has to fall in line and do their role. And as Kevin said, every camp, defense is always going to be ahead of the offense because it's more reactionary. It's getting yourself set, knowing what your keys are, and you can just fly right away.
Yep.
Offense, you can't do that. You're still learning, where am I lining up? Am I lining up, should I be another yard away or should I be another 2.5 yards away?
Sure.
I mean, little details
it gets
like
into that.
So until everybody can get on that page is when the offense can start to blossom and show what they can do. It doesn't really matter what your philosophy is. Your philosophy can be what it is. You just got to make it work and make it flow and make it work together. Like an artist gets everything to just kind of come together at the end. It's never a great product when you first start, but when you finish, it's going to be pretty.
That's what we're hoping. Pretty. We're hoping for the pretty situation here in the next few months. Injuries are such a big deal. Obviously, I just think the coolest thing about going in this training camp is, of course, I'm afraid of a number 2 overall pick getting hurt. Of course, I'm afraid of a guy we're counting on to do things, getting hurt or freaking getting shot. I mean, I'm worried about all of it now. I mean, it's all happened to us regularly. I mean, I'm worried about juicers. I'm worried about fakers. I'm worried about pretenders. I'm worried about everything. So everything that's happened to us over the last 20 years, I'm worried about going into this training camp. I have high hopes that they can rise above a lot of that and that they're equipped to do so. I just think that I just can't say it enough. There's just it's such a permission to enjoy in the AD world. It's such a permission to enjoy the uncertainty. We have been trained over the last 20 years, a lot of newness on a regular basis. And to hope in the new, and to just be like, let's see if this works, and hope that this is gonna be better than the last thing, and so, but this is different than that. This is, the black cloud.
What we know now,
moved past.
What we know now is that all that newness that we got excited about each year wasn't going to freaking matter because the guy at the top was still in charge. So it was always doomed from the start. We knew. We were given false hope year in and year out. So what's great about now is that I believe is gone. That no longer exists. We now have a true owner that knows how to do it the right way and is hiring the right people to do it the right way. He's not trying to do it himself.
That's right.
He's not meddling. He's not calling stupid shots. He is letting professionals do their job, and we're seeing it. And not only that, I also just wanted to put, because we touched on it last week, he's also trying to bring back the history, the tradition. I don't know how long this has been news, but I mean, they're finally going to retire Dale Green's jersey, right?
Yeah, October 20th or something like that.
I mean, the pants, the just no matter how small or insignificant it may be,
the smaller
or how
the better,
big it is,
we care about the small,
or how big it is.
We are the small.
It is just it's a relief that we are finally in a better place.
We are in a better place
all around.
They are. It sounds it sounds crazy. It sounds like we shouldn't care that much about who owns $6 billion worth of our company. The getting back to what makes it about us. I mean, I just that's just, to me, like that's I understand you pay $6 billion for something. It's a $6 billion company. That's a big deal. I get it. But it's a $6 billion company because people like us give a shit. Because people who are watching give a shit. Buying the jerseys, going to the games, talking about it, making it an important part of their lives. It's so much more than all of that. And I don't want to belittle any of it because it is part of who I am. It's part of who we are. So I salute the effort to get back to the history. But the thing is, like, football is a traditional game. I mean, it's old school. It's guys beating the snot out of each other, and there's a pomp and pageantry to that must be honored and abided, and you have to get out of the way of it. The thing that about the best owners in professional sports is they lead with the greatness of it.
You know what?
It's about that.
The best thing about the best owners in any professional sport is you don't know them. You don't really see them.
But you don't
really know
because they got out of the way.
Because they got out of the way.
Because they got out of the way.
It's not their toy. It's their investment. It's their life. The last guy thought it was just his, and it was just his own little thing to do with. Harris is doing this the right way. Yes, it's his. He owns the majority of it, but he knows it's also going to last way beyond him.
Hopefully.
And so he's going to make it the best product that he can make it.
Make it the best product.
Not just his own toy that he owns and wants to play with.
The difference between the best owners and the worst owners,
not about him,
are that they measure success in wins and losses and not on the balance sheet. Mm-hmm. If you're rich enough to buy a $6 billion team, you can't be hard pressed to make a. You can't be trying to turn pennies like Dan Snyder did. He made his money, and God bless him. Whatever, let him move on. The professional sports owners in the world who measure their success by wins and losses, that's the ones you want. That's the only ones you want. It's easy to make money in professional sports. Guess what? Spoiler alert! Shocker! If you own an NFL team, you're gonna make money. It's a very profitable business. I'm not sure if you heard. It's a very profitable business.
Yeah.
So you're going to make money no matter what. But if you measure success in the standings and not on your balance sheet, then not only will the whole experience for everyone be better, but oddly enough, your balance sheet's going to be better. I mean, it's just going to be better. So. I'm excited. I'm excited about all that. So the preparation for it. So next week, these guys are going to have 6 or 7 days of sweating to the oldies.
We're going to have stuff to talk about.
We're going to have football stuff to talk about.
We're going to have stuff to talk about. Hopefully, it's not anything bad.
Hopefully, it's not anything bad.
And mostly, it's about God. He definitely is ready. This rookie's definitely going to be able to contribute.
And I love these joint practices.
We're going to find out who the next Terry McLaurin is, the rookie that nobody really, our best kept secret that we're going to keep kind of, which I think actually the more I read it's going to be Sanat. I think it's going to be Sanat.
I want it to be Sanat so bad.
I think it's going to be Sanat
because I'm very heavily invested in him.
He's going to be, hopefully other than Daniel.
He's very Cooley-esque.
The best draft that we had.
He's very Cooley-esque. But you know what the other thing is, T? It's a classic situation of.
What did you do?
Don't worry, we're still alive.
Are we?
It's just the talent screen.
I like
went out.
seeing you on the screen. There you go.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
The need at tight end has been so pronounced, and we have done well in getting talent at the tight end position, but we have not done well in getting the right person with the talent
Or depth.
Yeah, well, but I'm saying like you get Fred Davis, and he just decides doesn't want to be a great pro, even though he was a man child and could have literally been Gronkowski if he wanted.
He was
to
a
be.
man child at every level he was at until he got to the big boy level.
Just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, he didn't want to put in the work.
Jordan Davis obviously got beat to shit, concussioned right on out of things. Again, you have I said Jordan Davis. We've had tight ends who are capable. Even Logan is capable, but Ben Sinnott is really the first guy since Chris Cooley to come onto this roster with an opportunity to be a very, very early contributor in the passing game. He's a hitter, so he will definitely be out there for multiple tight end sets. And the guy, the yards after the catch, watch out. He's a yak guy. That's what I love about him. He's a yak guy. He's a backyard football player. You put the ball in his hands, he's going to point his head forward and get as many yards as he can.
Yeah, I read an article today. PFF is projected that he's going to, if not by day one, is going to be a starter with the Ertz, and he's going to overtake Ertz early in the season. They're very confident. They say that he graded out. It's one of the best tight ends in the country last year.
Mm-hmm.
This
is a huge hit, by the way, if we make it.
It is.
If our guys got this one right, it's a huge hit. We've been saying it in the basement for years. You have to have tight ends in this era. I understand number one wide receivers. I understand 1,000-yard pass catchers from all different spots. But if you don't have a tight end, you don't have anything.
Best weapon on offense, without a doubt.
Yeah. So we appreciate you guys. We've been on for about an hour now. We're going to turn it over to the board for the next week. We're going to be back in 7 days. We're going to talk about 7 days of training camp. We're going to talk about where we are with this coaching staff, and you better believe we are going to have our eyes peeled for Jaden Daniels, not only his health but his development, his understanding of what Cliff Kingsbury is trying to do. And by the way, he's a character in this story. He's a main character in this story, and there's so many because of how ground zero we are. There's so many people who are potentially like the reason why we become great. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury has that kind of power. Jane Daniels has that kind of power. Obviously, Dan Quinn, Joe Witt has that kind of power. Frank Louvu and Jeremy Chin have that kind of power. We have so many guys on our roster right now who have the ability to come in and make our team so much better than it was last year. They got to do it. They got to show it. And they're going to have some opportunities here in the next couple of weeks in some joint practices, which is the direction we're going in. Less preseason games, more joint practices.
I like it. It just gives you another look, gets you away from your own guys. It's important for the players to go up against somebody different.
It's got to be someone.
I like
local,
the fact
right?
that it's going to be more practices now than game.
Jets. By the way, having a joint practice with the Jets, in my opinion, I know
it's kind of a zoo.
Some people don't agree with that. Yeah,
where is it neutral, or do we go there? Where do we come?
We play there. Our preseason game is played there on August 10th, I believe. So I believe the joint practices will be there. I could be wrong. Maybe there's some here too. But at the end of the day, if Aaron Rodgers gets back from Greece and all the things fall into place for them to have an actual football program, they have a F-ton of good players. They should be very good this year on offense with Aaron Rodgers. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see you in 7 days. Until then, he's Tim Strachan.
Looking forward to it. It's great Tuesday nights. Always a great Tuesday night spending with you guys.
August 8th.
Can't wait till next week.
August 8th. Sorry, Greg corrected us. August 8th. I'm Ken Meringolo. He was Kevin Ricca. I don't know if you recall. He was on the show earlier tonight. And you know, if you're not remember, that's what he looks like. He was here. He was with us. We're going back. We're going back all the way to one of the greats. By the way, we're so proud to share revenue with a band that deserves no introduction. I say deserves no introduction. We're going to close it out. We love you guys. We'll see you in 7 days. We're still live. Appreciate you guys.
Later.
Samwise. Hashtag Samwise in the house.
Next week, talking football. Woo!
Still live.
DP. Is he already calling?
We're live. We're still live. I don't know why I did that. It always does that.
Why do you do this?
I don't know why.
Why are you gonna get weird at the end?
Because it just goes to it. Do it all over. You know how sometimes people watch the credits and they're like, "Hey, is there gonna be a scene after the credits?" Maybe there will be. I'm not sure. Probably there will be. We'll see you next week.